everybody, I am back in New York, and I have an update on the story that just will not die, Berkeley, because round 4 of the Battle for Berkeley has just been announced by Milo Yiannopoulos, who wants to put on a week-long free speech event in the city. He wants to bring together artists, activists, lecturers, academics, YouTubers, people to come and speak about the importance of free speech, where he says they will stand united against the progressive left, and yes, progressive in quotes. He goes on to say that each day will be dedicated to a different enemy of free speech, including feminism, Black Lives Matter, and Islam. And that if UC Berkeley does not assist in the execution of the event, he is going to turn it into a month-long occupation with a tent city at Sproul Plaza. He then goes on to add that he will be having some big comeback tour and some event he's calling Cinco de Milo, which is a play on Cinco de Mayo, and that's May 5th, obviously. So here's what I have to say. If you want to talk about the enemies of free speech, and you're going to say feminism, Black Lives Matter, Islam, well, in all honesty, fascism actually is an enemy of free speech as well. So he does say all political affiliations are welcome, but that they're standing united against the progressive left. It's going to be very hard to get leftist progressive speakers at your event or attendees when you're standing united against them. So I'm wondering, will this actually be a free speech event, or is this simply going to be another right versus left battle for Berkeley? Now, so long as these protests keep happening, we're just going to see more events scheduled. All of these events we've seen so far are in response to protests at a previous event. Milo was scheduled to speak in Berkeley, and protesters shut the event down. There were Molotov cocktails, innocent people were getting pepper sprayed, there was fighting in the streets. So a rally was held following that, where we saw the rise of the based stickman. And then again, on April 15th, another event. This time we saw the escalation to the use of M80s and mortars being thrown into the crowd. And now a week-long Battle for Berkeley, round 4, is being announced. My biggest concern is the escalation. We saw explosives thrown into the crowds by Antifa, and many people on the right are saying that they're going to escalate in kind. Now, I don't know if this means they're going to bring weapons or if they're going to prepare better defenses, but it certainly means the tactics are escalating, and there's only one logical conclusion: critical injury or death. Even looking at the event on April 15th, an M80 or mortar landing on someone's head is lethal. People can lose limbs. This is extremely dangerous stuff we're seeing. And people are just pushing this forward further and further. But there's another interesting thing about this whole scenario, and it's that people are now alleging the mayor of Berkeley is aligned with a group called By Any Means Necessary. Right off the bat, the name By Any Means Necessary is extreme. There's videos of one of its leaders getting violent and punching people who disagree with her. And this just makes the whole thing so ridiculously strange to me that you have a group, these protesters saying that they're concerned about fascists using violence against them and shutting down free speech. So their response is to preemptively shut down free speech and use violence against other people. To me, I just see the same thing. You're saying this group's going to do it, but then you're doing it. You're creating the problem you're trying to stop. And there's one other thing I want to add to this, because people are accusing me of being right-wing, or to some extreme degree. I've had people call me a Nazi sympathizer, which is insane. Just because I'm criticizing one group does not mean I am supporting the other. Far from it. I'm going to call you out for violence when you throw an explosive into a crowd. And I'm going to call the people who are at the rally who brought knives. Okay? It's not so simple. This is a complicated situation where everyone thinks they're defending themselves. But this story will not die. Honestly, I can't believe I'm doing another video about Berkeley, but look, this event was announced, and I think it's newsworthy and needs to be talked about because this escalation is going to continue. But here's what I'm wondering. Is it really an escalation, or are we just kids playing in a sandbox, and it was actually worse in the past, right? Were protests 40, 50 years ago significantly worse in terms of partisan violence? I don't know. I wasn't alive 40, 50 years ago. So this is what I want to ask. Genuinely, this is really interesting to me. Comment below, and let's have a conversation about, are we escalating, or does it just seem like we're escalating? Are things actually getting calmer, more rational? From where I stand, it just looks like things are getting worse. But I could be wrong. I'm relatively young. So comment below, let's start the conversation. Click the like button, because it really does help. And stay tuned for new videos every single day. Subscribe if you like videos like this. If you want to support the work that I do, usually when I'm on the ground reporting somewhere, not just sitting in my room, go to patreon.com/Timcast and give whatever you can per month to help me do what I do, and it's greatly appreciated. And if you can't do that, you can just spread the word. Share the videos, let people know that you like my content and to subscribe, because that also helps me do what I do. So thank you all so much for hanging out today. It's just a quick little video, but stay tuned because we'll see where this all goes. And send me a message. Let me know where you think I should be, because I'm all ears. Okay? Again, thank you all. I'll see you tomorrow.